What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dictate the Day. I'm Dick, and I'm in here taking this day. I'm going to be 100% honest, though. Today has been crazy. Internet issues. For some reason, my OBS took an update, and I don't have my technical advisor with me at the moment, or around me, or scheduled to be by. So I'm attempting to do this myself. Let me apologize firsthand. There may be an issue with the audio. I think I got it figured out, but as you know, I don't edit. So this is what we're doing today. Either way, thank you for joining me. I super duper appreciate it. I'm going to kind of switch up the format today. Of course, let's make it even more difficult. All right? It'll make the win that much sweeter, if you will. I am still keeping it positive. All right? Rolling with the punches. Today I'm going to talk about food, and I'm going to stay in that subject matter because as I did research on this, it got so dark talking about the food here that we have in the wonderful US of A that some of these clips were so disgusting. I didn't want to show them. I couldn't finish watching some of these. Everything from pesticides and lab-grown meat. That is the freakiest one. I'm going to go ahead and be honest. But before we get into it, you know how I like to do it. I'm going to play a little music. Hopefully volume's good. It will be. You know what I mean? Speaking into existence. It'll be perfect. All right. So let's roll up. All right. That's good. Let's get into this because, man, all I can really say is, damn. What? I like to think or I at least try. I try to do the right things nutritionally. Yes, sometimes I do not for whatever reason. Sometimes it's time constraints. Sometimes it's options. I do avoid fast food. And what's crazy about the clips I'm going to show you, I didn't even get into the fast food stuff because that's a whole nother bag of garbage. It is so hard to find in the fast food realm. From what I understand, there are a select few, and there's a way that you can order from menus and stuff, but we'll get into that at another time. This first clip, I'm going to show yous. And I don't have a lot today. I've kind of run out of time with all my technical stuff, so we're going to kind of keep it, abbreviated, if you will. All right, let me start this from the beginning here. You ready for this? Sorry if this triggers some people. I apologize, but this is what we're eating.
Is your food real or fake? Rice, a staple, but some brands mix in plastic bits for profit, an invisible additive designed to deceive. Baby food, pour it out, use a magnet. Those specs, ground up rocks, advertised as fortified calcium. Vitamins, bake them. Synthetics burn, revealing artificiality. Naturals won't. Meat. This is not fat. It is actually glue to bind unused meat scraps. Ice cream. Squeeze lemon juice. If it bubbles, it might contain washing powder for artificial shine. Milk, add seaweed, stir. Rice water turns it blue. Pure milk stays white. Coffee, add to water. Floats, additives. Pure coffee sinks. Salt, add to water. Fake salt has chalk, making water cloudy. Pure salt dissolves clear. Green peas, boil them. Old split peas are coated in green dye to disguise them. Turmeric. Take a spoon and keep it on a lighted candle. Pure spices burn and ignite. Impure won't. Is your food real or fake? Rice, a staple.
Okay. During my research this morning, last night a little bit too, I saw how some of this was happening, like how they were coloring the peas and this weird machine process that goes into some of these foods. I've done some of these tests. I've done the rice. We eat a lot of rice at the house here. I haven't done it in a while, and I have not baked my vitamins. I take a grip of vitamins, man. A grip. I'm middle aged. I'm older, so I feel like that's kind of a thing. But yeah, here's another thing. I know some of this is supposed to be changing. Make America healthy again, and Mr. Kennedy Jr. is supposed to be. And I know that we've taken some dyes out of stuff. But there is a whole lot more. Some of these chemicals, like in our bread and stuff. Watch. We'll get into this. Let's keep it rolling.
Food is not food today. What we're eating today is very different from what our great-grandparents ate and especially our ancestors ate. It's just not the same anymore. It would typically take a chicken like 6 months to grow to full size. Now it takes 28 days. Most of these chickens, they're growing so quick. The unfortunate thing is if you go to like these chicken houses, they can't even walk because they haven't developed the muscles enough to be able to walk because their size grew so quickly. America is the sickest and the most obese. 75% of Americans are either obese or overweight.
How is that possible with all of the wealth of information and access that we have?
Well, there's a wealth of censorship of information too. Like you'll never see a commercial for an apple, but you'll see a commercial for a burger. You'll see a commercial for pizza. We have access to the information. The information that you're trying to get to is on page 10 of Google, and nobody goes past page 2. Food is not food today. What we're eating,
Man, it's been, I can't remember the last time I had some chicken. I think I tasted some of the wife or kids or something, and I think it was, I took a piece of, might have been Wingstop or something. But that whole, they reach maturity in 28 days, that's a month. Like, a short month. And it happens so fast. Like, I've seen some videos. To be honest, I don't remember exactly where I saw them. Could have been a documentary or something, but it was of those monster chickens or whatever. Bro. Man. Yeah, so my attempt at this information, of course, entertainment, education, do your research. Research is key if you want to find something legitimate to eat that's not, I don't even know what to call it because I don't want to call it food because I don't think it is. I keep flirting with the idea. My wife keeps encouraging us to do sourdough. I really want to get on that, but I keep making excuses and whatnot. I really need to do it. The only bread that I eat on the regular is like naan bread. I eat the same thing almost every day, and I've done it for several years now. It's what allows me to, stay lean, and I'm able to track nutrition and, macro, micro, all that kind of stuff, allowing me to stay not just lean, but keep the muscle fed and all that. I microdose my protein shakes, and I kind of steady supply the body throughout, the day. Whenever the fasting is over, I do a lot of fasting. Man, it just seems like we are trapped in this, I don't even know what to call it. Prison food or something? I don't know. I've heard some things about the prison food too, but bro, scary. All right, let's keep rolling. I gotta breeze through this.
Why do they sell Americans the shittier, less safe version here? They make a Canadian version of Fruit Loops that they undoubtedly produce in this country, in the US. They already make it, and they already have the formulation for it here, and they ship it up to Canada. And yet, the one that they sell here has red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, and BHT. All of those ingredients are not included in their international version of Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
And when people say like, okay, so they know how to make the better version, they're already making it, they're already selling the better version.
Right.
Why do they sell Americans the shittier, less safe version here? There's two reasons. The first reason, which is obvious, is it's a little more expensive to use natural food colorings than it is to use artificial food dyes that are derived
like
from
they use
petroleum.
blueberry juice, watermelon juice.
The second reason, they've acknowledged that natural food colorings are less bright. And when they're less bright, they're less attractive to children. Why do they sell Americans the shittier, less...
Here's the thing. If the food was gray, but it was healthy, I'd eat it. Color's cool, but damn. I have a theory, and this is just, Dick's bro science. In other countries, their health care is provided for them. So it would behoove them to allow the masses healthier food so it wouldn't cost so much in trying to fix them after they get sick. Well, here in our wonderful system, the sicker you are, the more money you have to spend. And we have to pay for our medical insurance. Like, it's a vicious cycle of horrible endings. Like, they keep us sick. They keep us in the, chain of, you need this medication, it'll cause this side effect. You originally got sick from this food, so here, take this. Oh, by the way, it's got a side effect, so now you need this blood thinner. Or just, whatever. Oh, man. I'm really hoping this changes. I don't know what that's going to take. From what I understand, like I talked about in the beginning, like we're supposed to be, making America healthy again. I just wish we'd hurry up, All right, well, let's roll.
Over 80% of all of the packaged and processed foods that we have here in America, that you go to the grocery store, you see them on the shelf, you see them everywhere, 80% plus are banned, straight up banned, in 30 other countries. 30 countries have banned the regular packaged food that you go to the grocery store, probably feed yourself, feed your kids all the time. You have to ask yourself, why are they banned in 30 countries? If you just ask yourself that one question, you're probably going to make better decisions when you're at the grocery store. Over 80%.
Like I was saying, they're banned because over there, I'm assuming in these other countries, they don't make money off of us being sick. Okay. Entertainment, education, do your due diligence. Man, let's go.
About this chemical. What exactly is it and how does it affect our bodies?
Well, this chemical is called azodicarbonamide, and you'll find it in a lot of breads in the U.S. And Canada, but not the rest of the world. Actually, the rest of the world either bans it or will put you in prison or fine you $500,000 for using it. That's because there's the chemical, when heated, it actually degrades down into a compound that is carcinogenic, and the World Health Organization has deemed it an asthmatic trigger. It causes lung issues in workers who handle it, skin irritation, eye irritation. So this is a very dangerous chemical that's being used in our bread.
So this isn't just about the, I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me, the scam that is organic or natural. This isn't about that, right? Because
no, actually organic breads are not allowed to have this chemical.
Okay, because people talk about organic and natural and all that, and there's nothing wrong with science. That's what pasteurization, that's science, that helps. So every chemical in your food isn't necessarily a bad chemical, but you said this one in particular is, and it should not be in there.
That's right. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that you shouldn't eat plastic. This is a chemical that improves the elasticity of bread. It's just for appearances, really, and really to line the bottom line of the pockets of these big food industry giants like Subway. I mean, they were using this chemical because it was cheaper for them to produce the bread faster. So it's just a great thing that they've decided to finally decide to take this ingredient out after me writing about it for over 2 years.
All right. Well, but is it just about bread? What else? Again, many other foods, right?
That's right. It's in McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's. It's in Thomas's English Bagels. It's in Sara Lee. It's all over the place. And really, the FDA should look at completely eliminating this ingredient from our food supply.
So then why would it, we were talking again, you said there are carcinogens in this food. Obviously, Subway is removing it. You said it's in different things. So then why does the FDA then say it's fine? Because it's used in foods all over the U.S.?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, the FDA isn't really regulating our food, and it's definitely not regulating this specific chemical. Actually, they have no studies on file as far as how this chemical affects humans. So I don't see how they can approve these chemicals for use in our food supply without any studies. And it's really sad that these type of ingredients go unregulated, but the food industry is in the pockets of the FDA, and that's probably why.
Let me tell you, everything is, you should have eaten that yoga mat with a little ketchup, or if you do a little steak sauce and soy sauce and mix it together, then everything tastes better. So I'm having a little fun with it. About this chemical. What exactly?
Okay, I don't know if you can hear that. They're testing the tornado alarm, and we live real close. I'm sorry. You know, as I was watching this, I didn't realize this, and I don't know how I haven't ever put these two things together. Food and Drug Administration. Why do they share this relationship? Entertainment. Just saying. Yeah. All right, let's keep rolling. It's crazy. That thing was saying alert, the alarm's going off. It's got me a little anxious. Oh, let's go.
Look at this shit. Put a magnet that I got from here into the Great Value Chicken.
What is... That's a screw in there or something. Oh, man. That's supposed to be chicken. What is that?
It literally won't go in.
It's hard as a rock.
Purdue. Let's try Purdue.
Different brand.
Not falling. It's not falling. Watch.
Because what's actually going on? Just cut this avocado. No avocado state.
Eggs from fucking Costco. Crack them in a separate bowl because I just grabbed one and
Disgusting. Watch this.
That's a motherfucking roundworm that just came out of that fucking egg.
But look at the texture.
My finger makes an indent like a sponge, and then I did this.
Squeeze.
Squeeze. I squeeze it as hard as I could, and look, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Look at this shit.
Okay. I dislike Walmart. I hate going in there. It makes me feel weird. I always get anxious before I walk in. I feel uncomfortable when I'm walking around. And that has been probably for the last decade. There is one that I go to because there's certain things that I just, it's where I got to get it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go today because I get some of my fruit juice there. It says 100% juice. It's the Dole. It comes in the carton. You know, I use that as a carbohydrate. I use that as, I mix my protein with it and whatnot. But while I'm there today, see that refrigerator behind me? Right there? I got magnets all over that mother sucker. I'm going to take a magnet today. I'm going to see what's up. I'll report back. Some of these have me so shocked. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. If you have suggestions, and I know a local farmer and stuff, I live smack dab in the middle of a giant city. There's no farms around here. You know, I'm assuming you could have, because I've seen these services that supposedly this fresh fruit comes to you on, you know, a subscription-based model. But it ain't cheap and money's tight. Here we go.
From baguettes to focaccia, Europe is famous for its bread. But one ingredient is missing. Potassium bromate is a suspected carcinogen that's banned for human consumption in Europe as well as China and India, but legal in the US, where it's used by some food makers to strengthen dough and estimated to be present in over 100 products.
There is evidence that it may be toxic to human consumers, that it may even either initiate or promote the development of tumours.
Professor Eric Millstone is an expert on food additives and told us European countries take a much more cautious approach to food safety.
Can we say for sure that these differences in regulations mean that people in the US have developed cancers that they would not have developed if they'd been eating only in Europe?
I think that that is almost certainly the conclusion that we could reach.
It's not just potassium bromate, but many other chemicals and substances that are banned here in Europe over health concerns, but considered safe by the FDA.
Do you think most Americans are aware that they're being exposed to substances that are viewed as dangerous over here?
They probably just think, well, if it's available and it's in the store, then it's probably fine.
All of the food tested in the study contained chemicals that have been found to be hazardous to health, and shopping for organic food isn't a surefire way to avoid these chemicals.
I would say I'm not shocked that we're finding these.
It's getting harder to avoid harmful chemicals in the food we buy and eat. A new study from Consumer Reports found that the majority of food we buy contains phthalates and bisphenols, two chemicals linked to diseases like diabetes and hormone disruption.
I think that we are finding that these are more common than maybe we thought in the past.
Rachel Rothman is a registered dietitian who's worked in the food industry for years. She says what's even more frustrating is that the chemicals are also found in organic and healthier food products.
I wish there was like an easy solution of, well, just don't buy this or just stay away from this. And unfortunately, that's not where we are right now.
Researchers found that 99% of grocery store foods and fast foods they tested contain phthalates. Additionally, 79% of the food samples also contain bisphenol, an industrial chemical that's used in plastic manufacturing.
They're basically part of this group of chemicals that they're really used to make plastic more flexible and more durable.
Prepackaged foods were found to have much higher chemical levels. Boxed cheesy ravioli, sliced peaches, McDonald's Quarter Pounder, Little Caesars Pizza, and other fast food items were among the foods tested by Consumer Reports. The National Research Council has linked phthalates to reproductive disorders and genital abnormalities. According to Mayo Clinic, BPA has been linked to high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. In 2023, the FDA rejected a petition that called for a ban on the use of phthalates in food packaging and food processing.
If the FDA could step up and create these regulations, I think that could make a huge difference.
Okay, that's it on the clips. Ooh, my goodness. All right. Did you hear what they said there towards the end? Genital abnormalities. I've heard about this, and it has something to do with the shrinking of the taint. And it's, yeah. We have microplastics all in our body. You know what this makes me think of? This is me being crazy, thinking outside the box, just for pretend. You know how they're talking about implanting chips so we can control stuff and purchase, and whether it's in our hand or whatever, right? Neuralink, all the things. If we have that, and the stuff that we're ingesting is basically a lot of plastic and, whatever else, I feel like we're just, over time, we're going to morph right into a robot. Like we're going to be synths or something, half organic, half plastic with an implant, plug me in, charge me up, mom. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll say it again. If you have suggestions on how to avoid this, where to buy, what to do, please put it in the comments. Share for all of us. I don't know. I find like anytime I do stuff that's, like this, especially anything AI or what's going on with our food, because I've done a couple of these, my like retention and I only have like 115 followers. Got an extra one. Let's go. I don't get a lot of play, on the tube with these. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. All right, I'm signing off. I got to get out of here. I got to do stuff today. Got a doctor visit tomorrow, so I'll be busy there, and then I'll be running another thing with the family on Friday, so I'll probably see you next week. Monday bright and early. And you know how I like to sign off, y'all. Sorry to bring you this, but I feel like this is a message that, and I know it's out there already. I just want to do my part. You know what I mean? Sharing my knowledge, spreading my love. I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Because I'm Dick, and I'm trying to dictate the day. And by God Almighty, what we eat. You are what you eat. You know what I mean? All right, let's go ahead and sign off like we normally do here. Hold up, wait a minute. I love you guys. We'll see you on the flip. Dick out.